Hello, fans. Welcome to this presentation of the NBA Sunday night action right here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry. And with tip-off coming up, we've got just enough time to hear from our good friend David Aldridge on the sideline. He's done a terrific job. Thanks, David. Let's check out the Eastern Conference standings now that we're in the new year. You take a look at the 76ers. And not a surprise, really, to see them sitting there in that #1 spot in the conference. The excellent brand of basketball they've been putting on display lately has been terrific.
And right now for the 76ers, they had pressure on them coming into the season. A lot of people were picking them to have a special year. And they haven't shied away from that pressure. They've embraced it.
It's a great point, GA. I think every great team welcomes the challenge of trying to be elite, and they want to do it on a nightly basis.
Now Golden State's starting five. McKinney and Green at the 3 and the 4. Curry and Clay, the Splash Brothers, in the backcourt. And it's Cauley-Stein in at the 5. And for the 76ers, down low, it's Harris and Horford. Then there's Ben Simmons. Then it's Josh Richardson. And it's Thybulle in at the shooting guard. And there's the call on Curry. That is his first foul of the game. Simmons against Curry. Fades away. You've seen a lot of teams over your time that have been terrific starting a season, then just fall apart second half of the season.
Have you seen it, Kevin, happen with teams that have really good veteran players? I've seen it with young teams.
Yeah, unravel. I mean, it's painful to watch. None come to mind, but I'm sure you could start to find teams that are 10 wins below from one half of the season to the next.
And some of that we know. It can happen with injuries to a star player, and
you
just are dismantled. But a lot of times,
like the Pacers with Oladipo. They were a different team the last quarter of the season.
It's a great call, Kevin. But a lot of times it happens with young teams because if you get off to such a hot start and it's a bit unexpected, there's going to be a lot more attention on you. And you start to feel like, oh, well, we've arrived. This is easy. We've done this for 35, 40 games. No problem. Well, the league figures you out. And a lot of times young teams that have early success are probably the most susceptible to this lemmings kind of falling off the cliff type of deal.
And the Warriors with a completely new 5 on the floor.
And we come back to it again and again. If you're just looking at points and rebounds, you really miss Al Horford's impact. It goes way deeper than the box score.
Spellman the pass to Russell. And another 3 for Golden State.
They can't miss. 4 for 4 and warming up the burners.
Russell against Simmons. And he lays in the alley-oop.
And with off-the-charts awareness, Simmons makes plays that others simply don't see.
Warriors have gone 4 of 4 to start, so a nice offensive rhythm to start here. And some detractors have looked at Horford's stats, and they said he's not an all-star. Even Sports Talk Radio calling him average Al.
Nonsense. I mean, still a great defender, efficient scorer, elite passer as well for a big man. Then you get to his leadership. Big Al is the total package.
There are only a few players in the league who can hit a teammate like that in stride. Beautiful assist.
The Warriors shooting their first free throw of the night here. And the free throw, no good. Outside, Simmons. Burks pulls it in. Golden State's gone 2 of 2 from three-point range here in the first quarter. Outside for Robinson. On deep. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. Their last game, a win against Boston, looking to carry it into this one.
Yeah, I felt like they attacked, but with a purpose. They knew what they wanted to accomplish coming in.
Yeah, and talking with the coaching staff, they said in that game they did a great job of not settling. Keep working the ball around, finding the best look. Let's see if they can keep that up.
Here's Simmons, and Simmons slams it in.
And at 6'10", a player like Simmons, to handle the ball the way he does, that's just unfair.
Passes to Pascal. Here's Spellman. Outside Robinson. Spellman the pass to Robinson. Burks for three. Al Horford with the rebound. Horford's got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Simmons, and Simmons slams it in.
And how about the slashing ability of Simmons, really creating havoc for the defense with his aggressive mentality.
And coming into this season, questions about whether the Sixers could retain their star players. Well, Greg, they shuffled the decks, but they still have great talent.
Swapping in Al Horford for Jimmy Butler, Josh Richardson for J.J. Redick. The Sixers still in the mix to come out of the East.
Yeah, they're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results.
And the 76ers decide to take their first time out here. They're getting their first look of the season at the Warriors in this one.
It's not often we get to see this matchup, but it is a doozy when we do. Just two powerhouse teams facing off.
Well, if I had a calendar, I would have circled this one. But I love it when they get together. Last year, they split the 2 games between them, and I'll bet their battles are just as tightly contested this year.
And the Warriors making a change here. Green's checked in. Here's Ennis. And a miss there on the triple. The Warriors leading. From the low block, here's Burks. Out to Russell. From the arc. He makes another one. That's 4 up and 4 in to start his game.
And that's back-to-back threes. The D just seems to be slacking off a little bit.
Korkmaz passes to Simmons. This one for 3. And the 76ers get it back. The shot that time not on target. Warriors leading by 5. Robinson for 3. And it's O'Quinn with the rebound. And so Simmons will bring it up for Philadelphia. It's deflected.
This has not been a good quarter right here. Shot has been off the mark, and now it looks, Kevin, like he's pressing a bit.
Burks for 3. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist.
Man, the triples keep falling, guys. That's 3 in a row.
Here's Korkmaz. Softly drops in the floater.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Outside for Robinson. Lets it go with a 3. And another 3 for Golden State.
That's a dozen straight points coming off the triple.
The 76ers trail by 9. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Here's Simmons. And Simmons slams it in.
Intent on keeping that possession alive, Simmons uses his height to his advantage.
There's the pass to Spellman. Out to Russell. Robinson for 3. Scott pulls it in. And here is Simmons. Ball's knocked loose. And that's on a bounce. Philadelphia will retain possession. Here's O'Quinn, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. And it goes on Draymond Green.
And over time, O'Quinn has carved out a nice role for himself, a capable and bruising big.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. And that one falls for O'Quinn. And so O'Quinn nails both of them.
A big fellow with the ability and confidence at the free throw line is something that every team wants. You don't have to make those late substitutions. Keep your big guys on the floor.
D'Angelo Russell getting it done for the Golden State Warriors. And it was from 3-point range where he did the most damage. He knocked down 3 in that quarter. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. The game is evolving, and Al Horford has changed his game along with it.
It never occurred to me that I'd be shooting threes at this rate and doing some of the things that I'm doing. But it's just the way that the game has evolved.
And give Horford credit. He adjusted with the times. He didn't stay set, Greg, in his ways.
Yeah, he was always a great mid-range shooter, and he's proven to be a legitimate threat from deep.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1/4 of action so far. And the Warriors, guys, what jumps out to you in this game, stats-wise?
Well, the coaches preach ball movement, and we saw exactly why in that first quarter.
Well, everybody just feeling the energy of the basketball as they moved it around, and lots of hands were touching it.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. And so in the game for the 76ers, Simmons is out there with Korkmaz. Then there's Kyle O'Quinn. Then it's Ennis, and it's Bolden in at the 4 spot. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, Josh Richardson has made himself into one of the top defensive wings in the league. Richardson says there's a certain competitiveness that comes with being a good defender. The defensive end takes will, and I have a lot of it. Kevin J. Rich is self-described as super competitive, and that edge is what drives him.
It sure is. That's what it takes. Thank you, David. Just over 1 minute has passed here in the second quarter. And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time. And the Warriors making a change here. Thompson's checked in. The 76ers trail by 6. Korkmaz kicks to Simmons. Pass to Bolden. Another miss by Philadelphia.
And guys, you've heard of overpassing. Well, that shot was an example of underpassing.
Maybe they can find a way to establish some rhythm in the next few possessions with the extra pass.
If you were choosing a center for the team that you ran, and you've got these options, Joel Embiid, Big Cat, or Jokic in Denver, who do you go with?
There's so much variety in their games, Kevin. And I appreciate what Jokic does so much for that Denver Nuggets offense, initiating as a center from the top. But I'm going to have to go with Embiid and the way that he can dominate the game. There's still so much potential and growth for what it is that he can do. Down on the block, doing damage, taking away a lot of three-point shots. And not to disparage what it is that Karl Anthony Towns can do, but his size and dominance, I think there's an intimidation factor that Joel Embiid brings to the game that I would lean on over the other two. Yeah, and that one way back in the first quarter is the three-pointer that has been his only one of the night.
Good work there as it goes. And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here.
And coaches looking to seize every advantage, maximize every possession.
Got to feel good as a coach if you make all those adjustments, pull the right strings. That's what they love to do.
Both teams making some changes here.
And let's take a moment here to see some of the numbers for Green. Averaging about 7 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. And very few players in the league can go out and produce like he has. Just a great stretch for him.
He keeps playing like this, and you know in arenas, especially at home, when a star player is playing this well, those MVP chants come raining down.
And D'Angelo Russell picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. We're just over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Here's Harris. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good.
Beautiful in the mid-range there. Sometimes it looks automatic for Tobias Harris.
Well, you look at the career of Tobias Harris, and boy, he's bounced around a bit. Has never slowed his development or production, though. You put him anywhere, and he'll find a way to help his team.
Catching the lead pass at full speed, terrific anticipation, and the delivery, Kevin, on time, on target.
Russell kicks to Burks. The three. Russell, no good. And with Harris, he's been moved so many times. You know what, Greg? You forget he's still quite young.
Yeah, I mean, he really is just starting to enter what should be the prime of his career. Has improved every offseason and is a great rebounder and scorer.
And that one's good. Thibault.
Well, for Tobias Harris to take this step, getting away from scoring and finding teammates to become a more adept passer, that's good signs.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of it.
The 76ers trail by 10. Richardson the pass to Thibault. He's looking for Richardson and finds him. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's going to go on Alec Burks.
Richardson playing with boundless energy, great at going into the physical defense and drawing the foul.
You know, Brent, something other major sports do, receding during the playoffs. So the highest seeds always will play the lowest seeds. And do you think the NBA should go down that road?
I think the consideration will still be there. I think that conversation is going to happen over the course of the next 2 or 3 years. I don't see it changing in that time, Kevin, but it's healthy to continue the dialogue to the point where maybe we do get there.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Philadelphia's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. To the middle, here's Scott. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. Scott's got his first bucket of the night.
I like seeing Josh Richardson distribute the ball, especially when his teammates are wide open. That makes for an easy pass.
Robinson finds Burks. Outside for Robinson. That's good. A tough shooting night. He's 2 for 8 and looking for more.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Richardson attacking. The feed to Harris. Down low, Thibault, and he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
Making the most of the screen, that's how it's done.
And it's in the perfect spot, Greg. Frees him up to get all the way to the bucket.
Really not enough help there. Lack of communication on the backside.
Here's Thibault. 6 points for him.
2 for 1, probably the way to go.
Don't want to rush it, but you don't want to take too much time here. Gotta love the effort there. An undersized 4 who can really make things happen with that leaping ability.
Spellman the pass to Russell. He kicks it to Burks. Back to Russell. From downtown, it drops. That's his 9th field goal of the contest. A blistering hot 9 for 11.
And having a whale of a game from 3-point range. Drained 3 of them in that first quarter and has added 3 more here in the second.
That one's in there. The Warrior lead is cut to just 9 on the basket from Richardson. Russell looking it over. It off in time. Buried from outside. But I don't know. I think we may see a review here. That was pretty close. And we are not going to halftime just yet. Officials signaling they are going to review the tape.
And the NBA Replay Center in Secaucus is queuing it up. And even before we look at the replay, I'm pretty sure he got that off in time.
They're going to switch the call. There is no doubt in looking at the replay that he got it off in time.
Well, it's good they decided to take another look at it. I know some folks don't like how replay slows the game down and interrupts the flow, but when you have it there, you got to use it.
And so it's the Golden State Warriors up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. They've had such great ball movement and shot selection, and it's led to a terrific field goal percentage. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Draymond. Of course, not unusual to see you going up against bigger players. So how do you take advantage of that offensively?
I mean, you just got to take advantage of mismatches. You know, most of the time there's a big guy on me. If not, there's usually somebody trying to switch off. And I just got to know when to pop and just take advantage of the mismatches.
You've done just that in the first half. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings to each and every one of you watching at this very moment. I'm Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is here. Shaq is here. One half is behind us. Welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Golden State found themselves in a close game in the first. At the end of one, they were able to end up with a 5-point lead. They dialed up the pressure quite a bit in the second quarter at both ends, and it worked out well for them as their lead grew all the way to 12 points at the break. Hey, big fella, what's your take on Golden State so far?
Well, I don't know about you, Ernie, but I can see the work D'Angelo Russell has put into his game. Much more efficient these days, and guess what? He's a better leader. Tonight, he's done everything they've asked of him, and more.
And Kenny, your take on Philadelphia?
Well, the perimeter D is just too loose. I mean, there's no excuse for letting the team rain that many threes on you. And at that higher percentage, guys aren't fighting through screens. They're not staying with their shooters. They're not helping out. Just bad basketball on the defensive end. They've got to tighten it up on a high level in the second half.
And it's just about time now for the...
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. It's been a clinic out there with D'Angelo Russell.
And the bulk of his damage so far has come from the perimeter. A lot of threes early on.
Yeah, he keeps tracking down those spots behind the three-point line and finding some open opportunities.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. Warriors leading by 12. And on the floor for Steve Kerr as we get into the second half. Curry and Clay, the Splash Brothers, in the backcourt. Green and Cauley Stein are down low. And it's Russell in at the 3 spot.
Remarkable quickness on Klay Thompson's shot release, giving the defense no chance to contest.
And Simmons kicks to Richardson. And D'Angelo Russell picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Horford finds Richardson. Back to Horford. Launches it. It's good from long range. Horford's got 10 points.
And I like the back and forth here, showing confidence from range.
It seems like they're going to find out who can make the deepest threes. Right now, it's a shootout.
Russell passes to Green. Thompson way outside. An absolute palm from 3-point range. Thompson's got 6 points in the quarter. Pass to Thibault. All sorts of time. Cauley Stein grabs the board. Cauley Stein's got his 6th rebound on the night. Out to Thompson. Outside, Green. Golden State moving the ball around. Curry, good.
Out of their last 5 makes, how about all 5 from long range?
Since taking over the starting role in 2018, Willie Cauley-Stein has lived up to his draft spot of being number 6, Greg, overall in 2015.
And you knew that a big man like Cauley-Stein would take a few years to develop, but at a legit 7 feet and great length, he is everything you could hope for in a starting center.
Green kicks to Russell. Curry passes to Russell. Now Thompson. Green dishes to Thompson. And he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down. 16 points for him.
I'm not sure what the coach said at halftime, but whatever it did, it's lit a fire. They're now 4 of 4 from the field to start their offense here in the second half.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Timeout called the Warriors. Brent, you know, the moving screen is one of those very difficult judgment calls, isn't it?
It's a tough one, Kevin, but what you look for all the time in replays when you see that call, it's almost like the salsa. I'm looking at the hips and the feet. If the feet are too wide, and Kevin Garnett was the biggest problematic moving screen setter that I ever saw, being 6'11" and spreading out those sticks of his. But If the feet go wider than the shoulder, impossible. And then the hip move as the defender is moving around the screener, just enough of a nudge for him
Little
not to be able to
lean,
catch
yeah,
up.
yes.
Those are the ones where the referees, I think, are most in tune to in order to blow the whistle.
And for Steph Curry, certainly one of the best to ever play. Iguodala said last season, Brent, that he's already the second best point guard to ever play in pro basketball.
Well, high praise from Andre Iguodala, and why wouldn't you talk about Steph that way? You tally up MVPs and titles and his impact on the game and what he's done to change the way the game is played. The case for Steph Curry to be the top point guard ever is getting stronger and stronger every season. The guy that he's going to have to knock off the top of that shelf, I think, for most everybody who's been basketball fans for a long time, is one Magic Johnson.
Here's Thompson. It falls for his 7th bucket of the contest. He's 7 for 9.
A lot of dialogue around the league as to whether or not Klay Thompson could bear the brunt of being a main scorer on a team. Well, tonight proving it.
And it's good for 2. Holden's got his 2nd bucket of the game to go.
When the player gets a feel for that floater, it can really make things tough on defenders. You're just not sure how to guard them and where your point of commitment is.
The rim-rattling two-handed jam.
Excellent on both ends of that play.
Yeah, the steal was sharp, but the slam topped it off.
And we say it time and time again, so I'll repeat it. Have to be careful with the ball, or this is what happens.
And Draymond Green picks up the foul. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Scotty's checked in for Philadelphia. Curry against Simmons. Kicks it to O'Quinn. Here's Bolden. No good on the triple. And here's Curry, who brings it up for the Golden State Warriors. 22 is their biggest lead. They host the Spurs after this one. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home.
Good shot selection there from Steph, feeling the rhythm and then easily connecting on the pull-up.
Passes it to Simmons. 1:44 left in the 3rd. That one goes. Count it. Simmons got 10 points in the game.
Well, if you're giving up that much height, the only thing that you can do as a defender is to foul him. Just how awesome is it to watch the best of the best start to dominate in a game.
On the wing, Scott. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. He's got 6.
Can't talk enough about the subtleties in that setup right there. The assist, really the key to that entire sequence.
It's stolen. 1:06 left to play in the 3rd. Curry with the steal. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. And stolen by Simmons. Jumps up. And Simmons slams it in.
How about the activity of Simmons, mucking up passing lanes and making life difficult on the opposition. So good at getting steals.
Curry finds Green. It's not going to go for him. And it's Philadelphia the other way. And there's the call on Klay Thompson. That is his first foul of the game. And Philadelphia making a change here. Harris is checked in. The Warriors also with a sub. Omari Spellman has come in for Green.
And this summer, a 5-year, $170 million max contract extension for Ben Simmons. The Sixers didn't want to give him any cause to look elsewhere. A great talent, but the hope with that kind of money is that he'll develop that jump shot.
Curry kicks to Thompson. And again, it's the Warriors missing. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Korkmaz, no good.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
And Thompson gets it to go in on the assist from Cauley Stein. Thompson's got 21.
It's been this way since halftime. Tremendous production from beyond the arc.
Yeah, pretty infectious right here. Guys in good spirits and percentages from downtown on the rise in the second half.
And so it's the Golden State Warriors taking a 19-point lead into the break. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. We'll return shortly. And let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Well, a great job with the eyes. And what separates great playmakers, as we know, Greg, is peripheral vision.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. They've got Richardson. Mike Scott out there with Horford. Then there's Tobias Harris. And it's Thybulle in at the shooting guard position. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. Inside, Scott the pass to Horford. Good for the 5th time in 5 shots. He remains perfect.
Pretty much an Al Horford staple right there. A polished player who has lots of confidence when he gets in that range.
And stolen by Russell. And up the court come the Warriors on the break. Burks for 3. Drills the three-pointer. And the Warriors lead by 20.
And those aren't the type of three-point opportunities that you can allow in the NBA.
Thybulle, the pass to Richardson. Harris outside. And the rebound goes to the Warriors.
I know it's about defending the post and the three-point line these days, but still got to be active in the mid-range area, and the defense gets away with one there. Well, those interior passes can be dangerous sometimes, but if the timing is good and you execute it there, you can get easy hoops.
Thybulle, the pass to Horford. Here's Thybulle. A few players now host podcasts, participate with those elements, with those vehicles during the season. Thoughts on that?
I think it's great. I think it's fantastic for our fan base and for our players to have an outlet, to have conversations and share a little bit more about their personality. It grows them as people, I think, Kevin, especially I've listened to J.J. Redick's many times over,
yes.
And you learn something new, not only about players, but about their interests and how they're spending time. And I think if you were a young player, let's say you were a high school senior and you're a college player and you're listening to some of the things that guys are talking about in their experiences, I think it's invaluable for what it is that you don't know exists around a player in the NBA, and for you to start having considerations about how difficult the task is, how mentally taxing. So these things are great outlets for the player. He's going to punish you, Kevin, if you leave him open. He's more than willing to take the open three when he's got it.
Robinson for 3. Drills it from outside. Robinson's got 6 here in this quarter.
Both teams running perimeter-oriented plays that are working.
Well, both of them looking towards the three-point line, and I like to see that, especially when the results are made buckets.
Catching up on the changes for Golden State. Draymond Green, he's checked in for Robinson. Thompson comes in for Alec Burks. And Curry subbed in for D'Angelo Russell. Here's Milton. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
And that's a pure hustle play, getting to the offensive glass for the tip-in.
And that's the kind of quality you see in any strong offensive rebounder, isn't it? Thompson outside. Golden State moving the ball around. Here's Pascal. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Neto finds Smith. Stolen by Thompson. 2-on-1 as they jump out on the break. Curry can't get it to go. And it's Neto with the ball. He'll bring it up for the 76ers. They'll be playing host to Toronto for the next one. Now the pass to Smith. Off target from outside.
The D doesn't seem to be too worried about him from three-point range, and he shows us why. Still, I expect him to make one of those.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Pass to Ennis. And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. Knocks it loose. And that's out of bounds. Philadelphia will retain possession. And the 76ers with a completely new group now. Simmons against Curry. Shot clock at 3. The drive by Simmons. Count the basket.
And really, Simmons is nearly impossible to contain when he's sprinting to the hoop. An athletic behemoth who causes defenders fits.
And Thompson puts up a deep 3. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in.
And talk about a terrific stroke. The defense was hoping that a 3-ball that deep wasn't going in.
Richardson right side. Off target on the 15-footer.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
It's Curry outside. Another 3 for Golden State.
So many of the plays they're running designed to create opportunities from deep.
And I don't know how they keep doing this, but every time down, the resulting possession ends up at the three-point line and a fairly efficient shot attempt at that.
Yeah, easy call.
That's his first personal foul.
And you look at the development of how Klay has attacked the rim over his career. What was once a weak spot for him has now become a strength as his finishing improves every year.
That free throw, no good. You know what, Greg, you're right thinking back to Thompson. He had his early struggles at the rim.
And that's a distant memory for Klay now. I mean, he's dunking more often and with more force when he goes at the rim. It has made him an even more complete shooting guard.
Catching up on the changes for Philadelphia. Ennis, he's checked in for Kyle O'Quinn. Shake Milton comes in for Josh Richardson. Zaire Smith, he's checked in for Korkmaz. And Raul Neto subbed in for Ben Simmons.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Warriors.
And as one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And so now, on the year, they'll have 35 wins to their credit.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for D'Angelo Russell.
Just knows how to fill it up, and that's exactly what he did tonight. Nobody that they assigned to him could really get a handle on him.
And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
But the truth is they've had control of this game.
Yeah, looks like a veteran team tonight, getting out on the road, playing with assertiveness, confidence, fully in control for this win.
Smith on the wing, lets it go from deep, and the 3-ball is good.
Well, at this point, they're just trying to get back in sync. You want to play a good brand of basketball.
Consistency definitely is a key to some of the playoff performing teams, and tonight they just did not find it in this contest.
Pass to Spellman. Here's Pascal. 3-pointer. Offensive rebound. Pass to Poole. Here's the 3. Off target with that shot. So we see the Warriors taking the game here. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Klay, what is the key to the way you played tonight?
Well, I'm just used to the pace of the game by now, and my teammates do a good job of finding me when I'm open, so all credit goes to them. I just catch and fire when I'm open.
And they found the shooter, and he shot. Thanks, Klay. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and David Aldridge. This is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you later.
Yeah, get you some. Yeah.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on this Tuesday night edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, and by my side, Chris Webber and Greg Anthony. From the sideline, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. DA, take it away. DA, they got a lot of pride there, there's no doubt, and rightfully so. Thank you. And here's a look at some numbers for Johnson.
And his three-point shooting has gotten a lot better over his last 10 games. He looks so much more comfortable from beyond. There's no doubt he's got the green light to let it fly whenever the shot's there for him.
A look at the San Antonio Spurs opening lineup. Rudy Gay is out there with Udoh. Then it's White. Then it's DeMarre Carroll. And it's Johnson in at the shooting guard position. And for the Warriors, Green and Cauley-Stein are down low. Curry and Clay, the Splash Brothers, in the backcourt. And it's McKinney in at the small forward position. Was shot by Udoh, no good. Here's McKinney. They kick it out to Green. Out to the right wing. From past the arc. Shots good by McKinney.
And this is one thing that makes Draymond so unique. A big man who passes it so well.
A Sacramento King for his first 4 seasons. Willie Cauley-Stein was ready for a fresh start. They allowed him to leave, and he got his wish in Golden State. The athletic rim runner, a nice pickup for the Dubs.
It's Curry outside. Another 3 for Golden State.
This is where Curry does historical damage. Prolific and efficient from range.
White against Curry. White, good.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Yeah, very little resistance. I mean, you had to bring much faster help than that.
The shot by Thompson, no good.
Golden opportunity that he can't make good on. Maybe a wake-up call to the D, though. They can't leave him alone like that.
Shot's good by Gay.
Oh, and if you were the defense, you have to be right in the jersey of Gay. A knockdown threat on the catch and shoot.
Curry kicks to Cauley-Stein for the 3, and there's Thompson. That's good on the assist from Cauley-Stein.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
Well, these days, so much emphasis on the perimeter game, but you can see why after that sequence.
Now here's Carey. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Lakers in Los Angeles. Knocked away. Here's Gay. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
And for a larger guy, Gay really handles the rock so well. His handles catch defenders off guard constantly.
Here's Green. Cauley-Stein kicks to McKinney. Thompson, high post. Some nice passing by Golden State. A three-pointer is right on target. 6 points for Steph Curry.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, that's because he's getting his number called early. I mean, he's doing his part to help carry the offensive load. A fantastic effort on D to get up in his face and deny the layup.
Thompson from long range. Curry against White. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Curry kicks to Thompson. No good that time. And it's the Spurs taking it the other way.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
Here's White. Great D that time from Green.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
Well, that's why he's out there right now. In situations like this, he stands tall to prevent points.
A lot of player ejections in the playoffs last year. In fact, the highest in 3 decades. Seems like tensions, as with the officials, are still escalating.
Well, yeah, the relationship between the players and the referees, you know, it's always an ongoing process. And it's definitely getting better. But last year we had the highest number of new referees in the history of the NBA. And so you're going to have a growing pains when you have younger guys and understanding the culture of the league. But I like the way that we're going. And some of those rejections were warranted. Some of them weren't. I just look at that year as, that just happened. Let's see what happens. I'm not going to hold players and referees accountable to last season. I think we need a little bit more context before we make a decision on player ejections and flagrants and things like that. Just a little more research.
Gaskell, no good on the 3. Spurs trail by 6. Here is Forbes. He picked up 12 points in their last win against the Lakers in Los Angeles. Here's Lyles, and it's good off the back rim and in.
Well, you like guys who can work that in-between area, really keeps the defense honest.
Oh, yeah, flexibility is crucial. You have to be able to take what the defense gives you.
Spellman the pass to Robinson. Works for 3. Mills with the rebound. San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. San Antonio getting another chance here. Now, here's Bellinelli. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against the Lakers, and that one drops for him.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Now, here is Robinson. The lead is 2. Trains the three-pointer.
Out of their last 5 makes, how about all 5 from long range?
Now, here's Mills. Not a lot of room. It's tipped. Goes back up. The pass to Lyles. Robinson against Bellinelli. And the foul on Glenn Robinson. That is his first foul of the game. And the Warriors making a change here. Green's checked in. The Spurs shooting their first shots from the free throw line tonight. That That free throw missing.
Chris, you think back to the Warriors as a franchise when you played for them, both as a rookie and a vet. How have things changed?
Well, I think it's a difference, in the approach from ownership. I think that's huge. But the fans, they've always come out. They've always been some of the best fans in the league. And the Warriors franchise has come so far since being a bottom-dwelling team.
And that one's good. Russell.
12 straight points off of three-pointers, and the D looks Chelsea.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Bellinelli up top. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 11 points a game. Over Robinson. The shot by Bellinelli. No good. Robinson drives in. And they're scoring pretty well as we conclude the first quarter. Warriors lead by 8. Live from Chase Center, you're watching 2K Sports. And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. What do you guys think about the Warriors here so far?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchup defensively.
Yeah, they really got after it. I mean, they made life extremely difficult for the shooters, which is why they hold this lead.
Green and Cauley Stein are down low. Alec Burks is out there with Steph Curry. And it's Robinson in at the small forward. That's the group for the Golden State Warriors to start the second quarter. Here's Mills following the basket by Stephen Curry. Cauley Stein with the defensive effort.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
Excellent D, avoiding fouling and gotten the perfect position to alter the shot.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
And Willie Cauley Stein gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Rudy Gay's checked in for Bryn Forbes. Mills passes to Lyles. Gay outside. Hurdle trying to get open. That one's in there. The Warrior lead is cut down now to just 10 on the basket from Gay.
And the wily athleticism of Gay helps him in these situations. Just so clever at finding ways to bury shots against defenders.
Here's Burks. Back to Curry. There's the three. That shot, no good.
He's cooled down a little bit after draining those 2 3-pointers in the first quarter.
And the jam by Rudy Gay.
You got to respect Gay's ability to bury shots on the drive. He gets to the rim in no time.
Cauley Stein dishes to Robinson. Back to Burks. Curry on the wing. Launches a three. San Antonio with the rebound. And we're a little over a minute and a half into the second quarter of action.
Well, everyone has already agreed that Curry is a generational talent and one of the greatest shooters of all time. I mean, at this point, he is just climbing up the all-time list in NBA history. I mean, it's a robust resume.
Alfonso McKinney is checked in for the Warriors. Thompson comes in for Burks. San Antonio also making some changes. Damari Carroll comes in for Trey Lyles, and it's Johnson in for Bellinelli.
You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense no time to react.
How about them not settling? I mean, instead of being lazy with the shot selection, they go right to the rim.
Thompson outside. Pass to McKinney. Golden State moving it around. It's Curry outside. In the hoop for his fourth field goal. 4 for 7 shooting and looking for more. And with Curry, the titles, the unanimous MVPs, Chris, it's hard to argue he's not one of the best ever.
Yeah, Kevin, what stands out to me is just how much he's changed the game. I mean, when you alter how teams approach the game and how kids practice at home, he's made the three just as big as the dunk.
And the first one drops.
Oh, well, Kevin, throughout his career, Gay has been an offensive force and mastermind in manipulating defenses.
A different look now for San Antonio. Udo's checked in for Jakob Poeltl, and it's White in for Patty Mills. Now here's Cauley Stein. No points in the game yet for him. Wasted no time on that one. And the Warriors lead by 10.
He's found his rhythm from deep, and you can see the confidence.
To him, Greg, the basket looks as big as the ocean right now. I mean, that's how easy he's making it look.
And it's White missing. Warriors have gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far. Good on the shot. And now a 12-point Warrior lead.
Oh, every year refines that jumper a little bit more. I mean, Draymond knows what this team needs from him.
Outside, White. And it's off from three-point range. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. From deep, Green. It's rebounded by Udoh. Spurs trail by 12. 3 from Gay. And no good that time.
And he hasn't been able to do much damage outside the three-point line. Just 1 triple for him in the game, and that was back in the first quarter.
And here's Green outside. Again, the miss by Green. Looking at the last game for San Antonio, it was a win against the Lakers. And it goes down 2 points.
Just a late reaction there from the defense, and he is always going to finish that one.
And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here. They're coming off that win against Philadelphia.
And sometimes it's a lot harder to get easy looks on the road, but they found ways to get their guys good looks.
And a lot of it is moving without the ball. When you do that, things tend to open up.
And the Warriors with some changes. Omari Spellman comes in for Willie Cauley-Stein. And D'Angelo Russell subbed in for Steph Curry. That one from long range. Thompson's got the lead up to 13 now for the Warriors. And stolen by Russell. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, tampering is a touchy subject, but it's a word we're hearing more often. Teams want to retain their star players, but they know that there's always talk during a season. Now, teams can only express interest in a player when he hits free agency. Players can talk amongst each other freely all season. Star players like LeBron James are tied into their front offices. Some people wonder if there's much of a difference between what the player says and what his team is thinking. Kevin?
Good point, David. Thank you. And the Spurs making a change here. Forbes checked in. And he makes both free throws. Chris, when you look around the league, who do you feel is the most universally liked player in the league?
That's a good one, because so many players with great stories. How about Derrick Rose? Fighting all those injuries, coming back, having a 50-point game, becoming a leader again there in Minnesota. The youngest MVP ever, watching his ups and downs. Luka Doncic, how about that guy? That's just from excitement of play. The fact that he's just infused this Dallas team with energy and fun. It's so much fun watching him, and then you got to go with the elder statesman. In other words, we call him the old head where I'm from, and that's Vince Carter. If you don't love Vince Carter, something's wrong with you, because he's the line in the sand from Dr. J, Dominique, Jordan, and those dunkers to anything that's happening today. Vince Carter, he's the man.
San Antonio shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight, and that one falls for White.
Didn't have a free throw in the first quarter, but you can see he's starting to play with more energy now. He has a tougher attitude.
Lyles checked in for the Spurs. Bellinelli comes in for Johnson. He doesn't get the second one.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line. Unwilling to let up, even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flame.
Oh, yeah, and that's what you love about him. He shows no mercy, even with a comfortable lead.
And here is Bellinelli. After D'Angelo Russell hitting the 3, 6 to shoot. And Bellinelli kicks to Lyles. Here's White. San Antonio again missing. Warriors leading by 14. Shoots the 3. And Klay Thompson hits from deep. Thompson's got 15 points.
Their third three-pointer in a row.
White inside. He's guarded by Russell. Pass to Bellinelli. And it's Lyles in the corner. Bangs home the trifecta. 5 points in the game.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
Well, these days, so much emphasis on the perimeter game, but you can see why after that sequence.
And so it's the Golden State Warriors with a 14-point lead as we bring the quarter to a close. And more than anything, their three-point shooting is what sparked them. A fantastic night from long range so far. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much. Steph, I know Coach Stress is taking care of the basketball. What have you guys been doing to make sure you limit your turnovers?
You look at film, but it's just about in-game situations, just analyzing the situation and take care of the ball. Making sure that you make eye contact with the passes, and sometimes getting a shot up is better than giving it to them. So we got to just look at that and figure it out.
Yeah, when you don't turn the ball over, you have a chance to score, right? Congratulations. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow. Right here on 2K Sports.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And what a show being put on here for the home fans tonight. I'm Ernie Johnson, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Klay Thompson putting in some serious work for the team tonight. He ended up with 15 points, 2 assists, and 1 rebound. Taking a look at the Warriors, Kenny, what'd you think?
They looked like they were playing an easy game of pitch and catch out there. The playmakers and finishers were in sync on every level. The assist disparity, now that was big. Now that's the reason why it's a blowout right now, and they played well.
Shaq, what did you see from San Antonio?
Well, the bottom line, they got to defend the three-point line much better. They were concentrating all their effort into protecting the paint, and these guys were standing behind the line, Yakam, Splaka Kataya, and that strategy backfired, Ernie. They gave up far too many open looks, and all those threes killed them.
And that's going to do it for our halftime show.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. Klay Thompson has been sensational.
You just love the patience in that first half. Waited until he got the look he wanted.
Yeah, working the ball, getting clean, quality looks. I mean, just efficient basketball through and through.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. On the court for San Antonio, we've got Johnson. Rudy Gay is out there with Damari Carroll. Then it's White, and it's Udoh in at the 5 spot.
That's just a product of good pass work. I mean, nice team basketball right there.
And here's Green. He'll bring it up for the Warriors. 17 points was their biggest margin. They host the 76ers after this game. That'll be the latter half of this 2-game homestand. It's stolen by Carroll. And the Spurs pushing it up now. Here's Johnson and another basket for San Antonio.
And there's that transition offense. Push the ball up the floor. The defense can't get set, and you can get some easy baskets here.
Now, here's Thompson. 15 points in the game. Fires from deep. A rebound by the Spurs. Udoh's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Here's White. He gets it to fall. That makes it just a single-digit lead. White's got 7.
3 for 3, and that's always a good way to start the second half.
Green passes to Spellman. On the wing, Thompson buries the long-range jumper. He's got 18.
Such a consistent night for him from the field. Whenever they've needed it, he's been their safety valve.
A different look now for San Antonio. Acapurdo comes in for Udoh. That's Mills in for White. Third quarter of play with just over a minute and a half gone by. Floats one. It's deflected, and he gets it back. And that one is good.
That makes him 4 for 5. I mean, I think that's pretty good numbers. I mean, they've got to be pleased with how things are playing off so far.
Now a timeout called by Golden State. Hey, Chris, this year Pioneer Chuck Cooper inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Long overdue, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, he was the first African-American player ever to be drafted. I mean, let's just think about that. Jackie Robinson of basketball. He paved the way, and what he endured, and his teammates, by the way, of all colors, is well documented. And I think the Celtics need to, and I think they will retire his number 11 and have it hang up in that famed Raptors of theirs over there.
I agree. And here's Mills following Draymond Green's three. Pirtle, no one around him. And Damari Carroll is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Warriors leading by 12. Passes it to Burks. At the elbow, it's Robinson. It's Curry outside. It's hauled in by Gay. Spurs have gone 4 of 6 from the field since the start of the third. To the paint. And the jam by Rudy Gay.
You like seeing Gay get this involved in the offense, especially early, just taking over and dominating whoever is on him.
Green finds Robinson. Back to Green. Here's Curry. Here's Cauley-Stein. Covered by Mills. Curry outside. And basket number 6 to his stat sheet. He's now 6 for 10.
Yeah, there's 6 points on consecutive 3 balls. They're finding holes now in the D.